never break, always fight, never quit, do it right.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Edgar. So I know that it's been a while here on my YouTube channel, and I'm back basically. So a few things have changed since I've last been on here. As of August 2022, I no longer work in the TV news industry. After 19 beautiful, glorious years, I bowed out, and due to another great opportunity with a great company called the Ideal Trade Institute. I'll forever thank my news family. They're nothing short of amazing, and my years in news, but couldn't say no to the opportunity to work for Ideal Trade Institute. Now, the Institute is basically an institute where people who want to come get trained in the trades, they do so by building tiny homes that are then sold out into the community. So basically, I've been making a lot of videos about tiny homes being built and the experiences of everyone who builds those tiny homes. And so that's what I want to dive into. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the editing of a video. So let me go ahead and share. Well, let me actually show you first what the Ideal Trade Institute. Okay, my bad. I was turning off the wrong screen. Okay, so if you ever want to go and check out the Ideal Trade Institute's videos that I've been making, I was side hustling for about 7 months and then full time from August of 2022 onward. Here's an example. I'm not going to go through all the platforms, but basically we're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikToks, and also the Instagrams. So here on Ideal Trade Institute, you just type in Ideal Trade Institute, and you will find all of the videos. Now, obviously, and originally we were horizontal heavy, you know, the original format 16:9. But you know, the world's consuming shorts, which is vertical, short form. I try to keep it down to about 59 seconds, maybe even shorter in some cases. So if you go on over to the shorts, of course, you can find all of those videos there as well. So what I'm going to do is, here, let me stop this share. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically walk us through creating a video for Ideal Trade Institute. So let's go ahead and jump in on that. So first and foremost, I already have my video loaded up on the timeline on Adobe Premiere Pro, which I still edit on. I don't use anything else. And I'm not the absolute master of Adobe, but I do a pretty good job. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the lights because that usually helps me. That usually helps my eyes focus. And speaking of eyes, let me go ahead and put on my eyes. And I'm also going to put on my cap because I feel kind of naked without it on, because that's just me. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. So here we have the dean of the school, Mr. Nelson Brown, and I noticed that he was putting away some tools, nails, different types of nails, different types of screws, and organizing them. Today I come in beautifully organized, right? So I thought, you know, that's a great topic right there. Organization, because organization truly is half the battle, in my opinion, especially as far as, you know, organizing archives and whatnot. So I made a video about that, and I just asked Nelson to stand right next to the shelf. Let's talk about organization, and organization being half the battle. So as you saw, I just laid this down here. Let's start from the very beginning. Nelson's right there on the left-hand side in the preview monitor. But, oh, and by the way, I'm obviously editing also vertical. I personally am not a major fan of vertical, but guess what? I understand, because that's what the world is. That's where the world is, and that's what the world is consuming big time. So guess what? You got to roll with not what you think the world wants, but what the world is actually consuming and how they're consuming it. So vertical. I'll do another video on how I set up the settings for the timeline. But in the meantime, let's just go ahead and move forward. Throw Nelson down on there, except as you can see, look at that. It throws off the perspective. So I don't know why, but I always have to hit scale to frame size as I created my own preview. So what I will do is I will find, first and foremost, I'll find a piece of content to be the hook, right? To grab you off the top of the video. So let's see if we can find anything. We're going to put that at the very front before we jump into the graphic and then really jump into the meat and potatoes. So I want to try to basically hook you within the first 2 to 5 seconds, in all honesty. So So we're looking for something, you know, either something visually impactful or also with maybe the nat sounds, the natural sounds. So let's see what we got. Let's see what we can put on there. Okay. Chop that off the back end and okay, I love Nelson's laugh, and organization is next to godliness. So let's go ahead and grab that. And what I'll do is I'll copy it, and I'll usually bring it onto the front end, but still leave it on the back end of the video itself. And let's see. Oh, I love Nelson's laugh. Okay. So what I will do, oh, let's zoom in right here. So these are pre-made graphics that Mr. Clayton Abernathy, Mr. Clay, founder of Ideal Trade Institute, hooked me up with to use. So I use these suckers, but I don't know why they always come unlinked. Anyway, now they're linked. So let's go ahead and slap this guy right here, right after Nelson says that. And then, of course, these graphics on the back end, I'll just play it out for you, but I'll throw it on the back end. Oh, you know what I just realized? Let me make sure. Show chat characteristics, properties, more, share audio. Okay, my bad. All this time there had been no sound, so I'm gonna say that there's sound for you now that I shared my audio on Zoom. It's been a while, but back at it with Zoom. So, all right, and then these guys right here, color bars, let's get rid of those. Because this is a preloaded timeline from basically a template project that I copy paste from there, bring into this project. There's a lot of other stuff that I don't use, and so those were the things that I was just getting rid of right there. So so I put those graphics on the back end, like I said. These are pre-done because so this one right here is one, and then subscribe and like and subscribe is another one. What I did was I had to make it so short for you know, just the short formats that we're trying to fit, you know, within a minute and less, that I just decided, you know what, I'm going to crunch both down, make them look good to still grab the good parts of both of them, and bring them into a little moment of about 4 and 5 seconds on the back end of every video. Of course, you can make it shorter on the back end, but so that's on the back end. And the reason why I put that on the back end is because chronologically, I like to keep things in order as I go along. So I like to see it and build it up the way I'm going to present it, more or less, to the audience, you guys. And by the way, all of these videos, you can always check them out on Ideal. So everything that I make here, go and check out on Ideal. I'm going to put the links to those videos after I post the Ideal videos on the Ideal platforms. I'm going to go ahead and always post the links in the description of my videos to Ideal's videos. So that way you can see the final product, the thing that I was working on. Okay, so.
Organization is next to godliness.
Okay, I like that. And then, so organization is next to godliness. And then, so this graphic was also much longer. Longer is good. But for purposes of, you know, keeping it super short here, what we'll do is we'll just keep it super short. So it's already pre-cut to be that short anyway. So the thing that I always like to open up the most here, don't go too fancy with everything that I drop in, mainly some audio dissolves when necessary, maybe a crossfade when necessary. So just lay in the audio dissolve and it really helps it out right here. Okay, cool. So that was good. But here's the thing.
Organization is next to godliness.
Organization is next to godliness. So great words. Loved seeing Nelson on camera, but let's also dice it up so that we offer something else to the audience. So let's go ahead and take some visuals right here by copying the main clip. This is all one clip, by the way. Nelson is just such a natural speaker that, you know, he does his thing. I follow him with the camera, aka my iPhone, and I get all the images. And so right here, you know, we've got images of nails, and see, those are a little dark. So we'll start off with, you know, maybe this shot right here. I like that. Okay, boom, boom. Okay, so that should do it right here to keep it interesting for this. Oh, okay, my bad, got rid of that by accident. So
organization is next to godliness. To godliness. Next to godliness.
okay, so before the shot pulls away from the nails, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring it back here. So
organization
is okay. So there's the organization. So we're going to show the organization, but here's the thing. I need this shot to go right to about here to where Nelson starts laughing. So we're going to stretch it out with a little time duration. So maybe we slow it down to 90% of what it is. Obviously not all that much. So let's try 75, see if that does a trick. I think it should. Look at that. It did. Okay.
To godliness.
Okay, cool. So
next to godliness.
Okay, so I love Nelson. Just likened organization to godliness. So, but before the camera pans away, that's why I cut off that last part, because I don't want the camera to pan away and then just, you know, so I'd rather just cut it off right there. Okay, so that's the intro so far. And again, trying to keep these videos down to 59 seconds. So let's see where this close marker, the ending marker is at. Oh, look at that, 56 seconds. So bring it down to 59 seconds. And I just always plant this here. That way, I know, here, let me go ahead and zoom out. Cool. That way I know that everything here has to fit within that space between the ending marker and the beginning marker, or just the end of the beginning of the video. There you go, home in, boom. Okay, now saving, double saving. When you start a project in Adobe, you usually get one icon that represents the data, which represents what you save on the timeline. It'll usually be this one. So this one I just called, I'll label it by the date, 01 for January 12th. So January 12th, 01-12, organization and demo Dylan. Gonna do another video, hope you come back for that one, about Dylan Draper demoing a wall, punching out a window. And it's really, really fascinating to see all the little things that had to go into that process. So come back for that. But so it'll usually, when you create a project, of course, you know, it'll usually create one right here. I'm a little OCD about saving. So like, let's say, for example, God forbid, you know, I know you have the auto save right here, Adobe Premiere Pro auto save, and you go in there and you have all of the auto save ones, right? But just out of habit, what I will do is I will copy the original one and then I'll drop in, you know, I'll paste it in and bam, and then you get the second one. That's why it says copy. It's the exact same thing. But what I always do is I always start with, when I save, I always start with copy, copy, save the copy, and then save the original every single time. And of course, don't forget to go to Edit, Preferences, and Auto Save, and you can set your computer or Adobe, I'm sorry, to auto save, automatically save projects every 1 minute. If it could be less than 1 minute, like 30 seconds, I would do that. I've tried it. Trust me, it won't let you. Oh, well, 1 minute's good. That works. So let's move forward. So anyway, here we are from the beginning to 59 seconds. We're going to crunch everything in. So let's see how we can tell this story and make it work.
Organization is next to godliness. Organization is...
Okay, so that was a little jarring for my eye. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this in. And now they're on the same timeline. And I like additive dissolve because I just love this. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like this. It goes nice and bright as a dissolve right here, but you can do the regular dissolve too. That works fine. This is just my preference. Go with what your gut tells you to do.
Is next to godliness.
And let's pull this back right here just so that. Oh, I love that. Okay. All right. So we go into this. Let's see if there's. So I usually like to L cut into the previous shots. And if you're familiar with L cutting, or has like 3 other names, I just call it an L cut. You'll see what I'm talking about right here, and it'll save you time. It'll actually save you, I don't know, maybe half a second right there, 15 frames. It'll save you time, and especially when you're trying to make a 59-second video and cram so much into the storytelling, every second matters. So let's chop it up right there, and let's see what we can do with maybe cramming something in there.
That's exactly right. Organization is key. That's exactly right. Organization is key to winning the battle.
Okay, so I like that where he starts off with "that's exactly right," right? So go ahead and grab this, bring it over, and
that's exactly right.
I can already tell you that "that's exactly right" is the part that I'm going to use, and as far as audio goes. So and grab everything else, lasso, bring it in right here. So this is going to be.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly right, he says. So dissolve that audio in.
That's exactly right.
Oh, it sounded really nice. Sometimes it can sound crappy, like sometimes the dissolve, if you don't really tend to it, maybe it takes a little bit more time to tend to it. It takes some effort to make it sound good. That actually sounded pretty good right off the bat. So
that's exactly right.
That's exactly right. So
that's exactly right. Organization is.
So that's the L cut right there. I bring in the audio right here of Nelson talking already, but the graphic is still rolling here.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Very nice little touch I've seen. I'd like to replicate it, especially when you watch very professional shows like, your news or 60 Minutes, 2020, things like that. And so I always love to replicate that L cut.
That's exactly right. Organization is key to winning the battle.
And then also let's take a look at this. Okay, so here's about 59 seconds where we want to cut it off. 23. So we're going to have to cut off about 23 seconds somehow. So the detail is to take what you have. Am I going to do justice to this original clip, much less, much longer videos in crunching them down? Well, what you're trying to do is justice. It's not going to be the exact same, but people are going to get the hint. And guess what? When people are consuming content like this, swipe, 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 swipe. Most people, honestly, as long as you tell a concise, clear story in those 59 seconds, I try to keep them down to 59, then most people are cool with that. They're not going to call you out and say, you didn't tell the whole story. Well, my response would be, it's 59 seconds. What do you expect? So, but, you got to try to crunch it down. You become a master of doing so you just get better and better the more you do it. And so you trim off these little pieces of fat that the story can do without, and all of a sudden you have something that fits within that 59 seconds in my case. And so, but yeah, let's move forward.
That's exactly right. Organization is key to winning the battle.
Okay, so speech rhythms and patterns. So Nelson comes on camera.
Right. Organization is key to winning the battle.
Key to winning the battle, right? So what I want to do is right here, again, a pre-built graphic. This is basically, so this pre-built graphic right here on the bottom, graphic underneath his name, under Nelson's name, it's not his name right now, I'm going to change that. This is basically a still shot of the 16:9, except crunched down, given a camera blur, and what else? And a feathered edge. And then so, you know, when you bring it into different formats and whatnot, it gets all weird. So you just kind of have to play with it, tinker with it a little bit. And I have zero clue as to why that's not working. Oh, because you know what? It's 2 bugs. So let's get rid of 1 bug. My bad. Let's just do this. Cool. So now it's 1 bug. And this is just a, you know, this is just a little touch. You can see it moving back there. This is just a little touch to give kind of a space for the graphic to hover over. I'm going to go ahead and move me right here. Okay, so again, pre-built with 2 names. We're going to get rid of 1. And so we're going to go ahead and change this to, you know what, actually, let's not get too crazy. And okay, this is why editing vertical is tricky, because your eye has such little space to work with, in my opinion. But I have a laptop, I don't have a big screen, but we make it happen. We still make it work. So okay, my God, created another one by accident. Okay, cool. So now let's focus on this one. Oh, Lord. Okay. Again. It takes practice to know how to get in there and command what you're trying to command. Student, okay. Nelson is the dean of the school, so we're going to give him the title of dean. And rechange his name because he's not Jasper Jacobson. This is Nelson Brown. So I left that J on the front end just as a kind of a starting guide. Get rid of that, reposition. So maybe like right there, a little bit to the left. Okay, perfect, cool. And then, okay, I think the height's good too. I like that height. So the height, the text is a little higher. We're gonna redo, oh, well, I was kind of there anyway. All right, cool. So there's that. And I'm gonna now re-alter to close the window. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. One thing I always like to do is I always like to start fresh. Make sure the graphic hasn't moved, shifted, or adjusted or anything like that. No, still good. So a lot of this has, you know, is workspace. And so you have to work with the workspace that feels good for you. So you know, now that we're done with the graphics, or at least the text graphics, I'm going to go ahead and close the panel, but you see how it got all weird right here. So we're going to undo that. No, it does that, I swear. If there's anyone out there who does know, please let me know. I'm always down to learn to see how I can not have that happen. All right, so you know what, actually, let's just keep it in there. Let's keep the whole panel in there. We'll work with it like that. It's not going to kill me. I preach about adaptability. Well, I need to live adaptability too, so it ain't going to kill me. So here we go. One thing I always like to do over and over again is start from the beginning. You know, not for purposes of just OCD, but I'll, you know, go on OCD while editing these videos, but also because you like to see, okay, how far you've come in the process to look back. And then that will many times, like when you're tired or you're just discouraged, that'll get you, you know, from a metaphorical sense, or also from an editing sense, it'll keep you going because you can see, okay, I've done this much. This is coming out nicely. Keep on going, see it through. So that's why I will very often play from the beginning.
Organization is next to godliness. That's exactly right. Organization is key to winning the battle. The more organized you are, the...
Okay, so the graphic actually comes in shortly, just very little before the camera starts panning away. So I'm going to bring these suckers in a whole lot sooner.
Organization is key to winning the battle.
Okay, organization is key to winning the battle. Pause, right, in his speech pattern, in Nelson's speech pattern. So get rid of that. Boom, double save. Good to go. And then here's another thing that's kind of been, you know, screwing with me. Recently did a video, ideal trade, of course, and I laid out my my graphics right here. But as you can see, there's this red line, right? Red line, you need to render it. That's what that indicates. You hit render and all of a sudden, boom, it gets blown out of the water. So there's some funkiness going on with how I'm laying it down. I know that there's a solution, so I'm not going to pretend like, you know, like I'm on top of it. There's something that I'm not doing correct, but what seems to work is not rendering all the pieces and just kind of letting it be. So until I can make a video where I explain, like, you know, why that happens, we'll just do this, not render it. So
it's key to winning the battle. The more organized you are, the more efficient you can work, the quicker you can work, and the more you can accomplish.
how important is it to have this organization in the trades?
So in the trades, if this is...
Okay, cool. So I actually started to pan the camera when I heard Nelson's speech pattern take a pause right here.
Organization is key to winning the battle.
Organization's key to winning the battle. And then I go on over to the tools on the shelf.
The more organized you are, the more efficient you can work, the quicker you can work, and the more you can accomplish.
How important is it to have this organization in the trades?
So in the trades, if this is organized...
So what I love about Nelson's response there is that it was a complete sentence where I asked, how important is it to have organization in the trades? Because you have so many tools in the construction trades. So, you know, I think it's a super great question. And so Nelson then responds, organization in the trades is blah, blah, blah. So he started with a complete sentence, meaning that can cancel out the need for my audio of me asking the question on camera. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of me.
How important is it to have this?
Okay. So probably just put a dissolve on there. I don't know. We'll see. You know, just to kind of make it appealing for the eye. Ooh, those two are not linked together. So let's go ahead and link them up. They're safe. Okay. And we're going to get rid of my question. So this is kind of what it'll sound / look like.
And the more you can accomplish. So in the trades, if this is organized, then you can come and easily access the materials you need for the job.
Okay, cool. So that wasn't that bad of a cut.
So in the trade, accomplish.
So again, even this might be 1, 2, this might be 4 frames that I'm chopping out, but think about it. 30 frames make 1 second. You only have 59 seconds to work with. So literally every frame, it comes down to frames for me. Every frame is important. And so let's do that. Let me take a drink of water because I know my throat is going dry. Always have water on hand and always have it on the ground. Little editing thing that I was taught by an older photographer back in the day was keep your liquids on the ground. That way, if it ever falls over, it's not falling over on your laptop, your computer, your keyboard, etc. So,
accomplish. So in the trades, if
I'm going to put a little flash there because the audio sounds really good. I mean,
can accomplish. So in the
and when I say the audio sounds good, what I mean by that is that there's nothing weird sounding about it. It doesn't sound choppy. There's not, like, it sounds very pleasant to the ear. So what we will do is for the eye, we'll throw in a little flash or a dip to white, make it so quick that it looks like a flash. So dip to white, really get in there. So maybe 6 frames, which is, or four frames, which is 2 frames on each side. And see how that works. Maybe 6 with 3 on each side, with 3 on each side, if I can speak correctly.
So in the trades, if
see how fast that goes, your eye doesn't even notice. Your eye just accepts that, you know, that there was a change in shot.
So in the trades, if this,
and the audio carries over so seamlessly that it all just kind of works nicely, in my opinion. So let's keep moving forward.
And the more you can accomplish. So in the trades, if this is organized, then you can come and easily access the materials you need for the job, know where they're at, find them, get to the place you need, and be done with it.
Okay, so a beautiful thing about you know, working with Nelson is that you can kind of see right here, he's got a lav mic on. So lav mic on him connects to the receiver. That transmitter connects to the receiver, which is plugged into my iPhone. And so that's how we're getting this really great audio coming off of Nelson. And that allows me to keep on recording his narration as narration when I go off of him. It's not really post narration, but, you know, it serves as narration as I go off of him and show the nails and everything that he's talking about, the organization and everything that he's talking about. And so while he's giving me that, I'm just showing the images and it works beautifully all together. So kind of like when, you know, you're showing an image, but you have narration underneath. Well, this is narration, but on the spot, and, you know, it works. So let's see, we still have a lot of chopping to do. So let's keep on moving forward.
Find them, get to the place you need, and be done with it. So we had to move this shelf.
Okay. So he stops and says, so, and that actually takes up, that actually here, I'm sorry, let me go on over to this other screen because I've got people hitting me up on Facebook. Okay. Let me make sure that we're still sharing the right screen. Okay. All right, and also let me make sure that I'm still sharing audio with you. Okay, oh, one more time. Share audio, okay, share sound. Should be good to go. Okay, so
we have.
So if you really, let's count it up 1. So it's about 46 frames from what I counted. 46 frames is about 1.5 seconds, and that could really make a difference. So we get rid of that, and let's see what else we can do with that.
We had to move this shelf, so I had to remove everything off this shelf, and to just throw it back on randomly would have been a disaster. Putting it back in an organized manner with all our 8-penny nail guns right here. We have 8-penny sinkers, 16-penny sinkers. We have our Tico nails in the 2 different sizes here. Then we have some spare, our like leftovers of our 16 and 8 pin.
So here we're already closing in on the back end. So let's try to, I really like all the information that he was giving. Let's try to get rid of as little as possible. So that's why I'm going to focus on like things like pauses and ums and things like that first.
Disaster.
Okay, this space right here. Very tight little bit, but every single bit helps. You do a lot of those little bits and
putting it back.
And let's do another dip to white because I didn't like how his neck kind of popped. Here, let's go ahead and show you. So that's a total jump cut. So I don't like that. So let's go ahead and leave that dip to white.
Putting it back.
Okay, so that's kind of how I remedied that for the eye.
We have our Tico nails in the 2 different sizes here.
And you can clearly see a pause right here also. So let's check out this break. Let's see if it's an get rid of whatever we can.
Spare are like leftovers. Have some spare.
So he says have some spare. And then I think we should be able to pull it off. It'll still communicate well without the word like. And you'd be pretty amazed at like how much you can get rid of. And people still kind of understand in the storytelling process. People still kind of understand what it is you're trying to communicate. So
they're like leftovers of here. Then we have some spare like leftovers of our 16 leftovers of our 16 and 8 pin.
I'm not going to worry about that jump cut. It's not, it's nails, but it's usually more on people that I worry about the jump cuts, but so we'll let that go.
Any nail gun, our 1.25" drywall screws. So now anyone needs something, they can come here, easily find it and access it and use it.
Final closing message regarding organization.
Organization is next to and access it and use it.
Access it and use it, and then afterwards I come in with my question verbally. So we're going to get rid of that. Save a few frames, maybe 1.5 seconds. See how that works, how that looks.
Organization is next to godliness.
All right, so now it was originally like what, 123. Now we're down to 114. So that's good. That's a good 9 seconds shaved off. So let's see if we can shave off 14 seconds more somehow. So, and still tell the story, as thoroughly as possible. So
organization is next to godliness. That's exactly right. Organization.
And so since we have organization is next to godliness on the front end of the video right here, honestly, if it comes down to it, we kill it on the back end when he says it again. It wouldn't be a bad idea. So it's not going to totally hurt the video. So let's start from the beginning, see what more we can shave off.
Organization is next to godliness.
So right off the bat, that the video is going to be about organization.
That's exactly right. Organization is key to winning the battle. The more organized you are, the more efficient you can work, the quicker you can work, and the more you can accomplish. So in the trades, if this is organized, then you can come and easily access the materials you need for the job, know where they're at, find them, get to the place you need, and be done with it. So we had to move this shelf. So I had to remove everything off this shelf, and to just throw it back on randomly would have been a disaster. Putting it back in an organized manner with all our 8-penny nail guns right here. We have 8-penny sinkers, 16-penny sinkers. We have our Tico nails in the 2 different sizes here. Then we have some spare, like leftovers of our 16 and 8-penny nail guns. We got 2.5-inch screws. We got our 1.25" drywall screws. So now anyone needs something, they can come here, easily find it and access it.
So what I'm hearing in the storytelling process that Nelson is verbally telling us is that you know, we have all these different types, right? But the overall point of the video that he's communicating is that organization is key. Organization is winning half the battle right there, right? So we can go through, you know, I don't know, maybe 5, 10 more different types of nails and screws, and the point remains the same: organization. Organization is half the battle. So let's see.
Anyone need next to organization is next.
So let's go ahead and just get rid of that repeated part on the back end right here, because I'd rather get rid of that. And now that brings us down to 108. I'd rather get rid of that part because it's already on the front of the video anyway. So it was only there as repetition. I like to throw it in a second time, but it won't kill you if it's not there in the back end because it was already communicated. So let's see what more we can shave off. But I think what we can shave off is, you know, maybe all the different types of nails. Maybe not, if not exclude them or cut them out of the video. Maybe you fast forward to get a little something like that. So let's see.
In an organized manner with all our 8-penny nail guns right here. We have 8-penny sinkers, 16-penny sinkers. We have our Tico nails in the 2 different sizes here. Then we have some spare, like leftovers of our 16 and 8-penny nail guns. We got 2.5-inch screws. We got our 1.25-inch drywall.
And you know, in filmmaking or video editing or film editing, you're going to hear something called kill your babies. That's just, I think, a metaphor for, you know, although it hurts you to get rid of something from your work that you're creating, you have to get rid of stuff, you know, and that's part of the discipline applied. That when that discipline is applied, that makes a difference between, you know, somebody's going to make a tightly structured piece of content versus something that's just going to be sloppy and all over the place. So I got to get rid of stuff. So let's see over and over again what we can get rid of.
Organization is next to godliness. That's exactly right. Organization is key to winning the battle.
Okay, so right here where he says that's exactly right.
Right.
That's going to save us.
Organization is key to win.
So let's go ahead and just get rid of that. Hurts me to do so, but oh well. Yeah. Bring it all together.
Organization.
So double save, bam, double save, bam. And that brings us down to 107. So it saved us about a second. So keep on pushing, keep on moving, see what else we can get rid of. But let's go back to that cut. Smooth it out with constant power audio fade.
Organization.
And then cut it off right here, since the word organization. It starts right there. So
organization is key to winning the battle. The more organized you are, the more efficient you can work, the quicker you can work, and the more you can accomplish. So in the trades, if this is organized, then you can come and easily access the materials you need for the job, know where they're at, find them, get them.
What's funny is that, like, a lot of editing is the ability to make the decision as to what to include, what to exclude, when to bring it in on the timeline, when to cut out and away from it and move on to the next part of your storytelling process. And so a lot of it is decisions. And then a lot of your editing is on the basis of those decisions. Crazy, right?
The more organized you are, the more efficient you can work, the quicker you can work, and the more you can accomplish. So in the trades, if this is organized, then you can come and easily access the materials.
So I think he says in the trades.
The more organized you are, the more trades. If this is organized, then you can accomplish. So in the trades, if this is organized, then you can come and easily access the materials. If this is organized, can accomplish. So in the trades, if this is organized, then you can come and easily.
So maybe I'm thinking we can get rid of this piece right here.
So in the trades, if
So in the trades, we already know that we're in the trades. You know, we're dealing with construction, nails, etc. Especially if you're watching the Ideal Trade Institute, go on over to their channel, Ideal Trade Institute, and check out all the final videos that I've made for them for about a year now. So we already know we're dealing with the trades, so maybe we can exclude that part.
In the trades, if this is organized, then you can
And organization, so it's already been mentioned right there.
come and easily access the material. Then you can come and easily, if this is organized, then
so in trades and organization, two things already mentioned. We already know those things 18 seconds into the video, so could probably get rid of those. See if we chop it up, how that sounds.
you can come and easily,
then you can come and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's get rid of that. See how it works.
the more you can accomplish. Then you can come and easily access, then you can accomplish. Then you can,
So we'll get rid of the word then and start with you can come and easily access.
you can come and easily access, accomplish. You can come and easily access.
That kind of flows. We'll keep that. Chopped off some time. We'll take a look at the TRT, total running time, in just a few moments.
You can come, accomplish. You can come and,
Okay.
or you can accomplish. You can come and easily.
That's kind of an ugly jump, especially because the camera was moving in that section. So we will we'll drop a little flash, dip to white. So let's keep it at 4 frames, 2 on each side of the cut. Bring it down in and see how that works. Because context-wise, information-wise, it works for me. Audio dissolve-wise, perfect. Let's see how this visual works. Let's see how it all works all together.
And the more you can accomplish. You can come and easily access the material.
Cool. So not a major difference, but it's better than, you know, the jump cut that I didn't like.
You can come and easily access the materials you need for the job.
Okay, total running time. We're down to 104. Awesome. Okay, so probably 5 seconds total. Let's see what 5 or 6 seconds we can still find to cut.
Organization is next to godliness. Organization is key to winning the battle. The more organized you are, the more efficient you can work, the quicker you can work, and the more you can accomplish. You can come and easily access the materials you need for the job, know where they're at, find them, get to the place you need, and be done with it. So we had to move this shelf, so I had to remove everything off this shelf, and to just throw it back on randomly would have been a disaster. Putting it back in an organized manner with all our 8-penny nail guns right here. We have 8-penny sinkers, 16-penny sinkers. We have our Tico nails in the 2 different sizes here.
Okay, let's see.
Then we have some spare, like leftovers of our 16 and 8 sizes here.
Okay, so the words "then we have," that's an intro into what he's going to next talk about, the spare nails that they have. So
then we have some spare, like leftovers of our 16, like.
Okay, so like, we'll get rid of that as well too. See how many seconds we save, or how much time, maybe just frames, I don't know.
Leftover is here, leftover.
And check the context of what's being communicated. If it works, if it flows, hey, people will get it. People are not dumb, by the way. You can cram a lot into a little, still communicate a lot in a very little amount of time, aka the way the world's consuming. And guess what? People still get it. So don't worry about that too much, as long as it communicates well.
The 2 different sizes here, leftovers of our 16 and 8-penny nail guns.
Cool. I think that definitely works. And
leftovers.
Audio dissolve works beautifully. Let's try a little cross. No, not a crossfade. Let's try a little dip to white. Since it all happens so fast, you need for the eye to forgive a lot of these little tricks.
Leftovers.
So that's where a little flash works. But you know, honestly, people again, If the context of what's being communicated still works nicely despite the cuts, then good job, because people are still going to get it.
Here, leftovers of our 16 and 8 penny nail guns. We got.
Okay, so that's amazing. 102.15. So we still have to get rid of, let's call it 3 seconds and 15 frames. So
Sizes here. We have our Tico nail.
okay. That was a nice little chunk of time that we can definitely get rid of. And then he clears his throat, right? So get rid of that. That should save some time too. I mean, that's how precise, that's how much of a deep dive into shaving off time, the least amount of time possible to still meet that 59 seconds that I try to meet. This is how much you have to dive in and chop off the little tidbits, but not so much to where you're gonna jeopardize what, you know, the story that's being told. You know, of course you don't want to do that. Okay, so see how that works.
Penny sinkers. We have our Tico nails in the 2 different sizes here. Leftovers of our 16 and 8 penny nail guns. We got 2.5 inch screws. We got our 1.25 inch drywall screws.
So I'm already happy, I can tell you, because this right here, this whole section that I'm lassoing, that's the graphic. And so if the end of the video is already reaching the graphic, then we just have to shave off a little bit more to fully get that graphic into within the 59-second window. So every frame counts. So the reason why I'm chopping this part right here is because my eye here, let me undo that for you, that we can see what I saw.
1.25 inch drywall screws.
So right here, Nelson very quickly inhales. So we'll get rid of that. See how that works without, you know, without the dissolves, audio and video first, just to check.
1.25 inch drywall screws. So now anyone needs something, they can come out.
Okay, cool. So that works pretty good. It'll be smoothed out a whole lot more with a little audio dissolve. Bring it right here.
All screws. So now anyone needs something. All screws. So now anyone needs something.
Okay, cool. And little white flash. If these didn't have to be so fast, my preference would be this one right here, add it to dissolve. I like those. Let's just throw it on here just for the sake of having something different.
Screws. So now anyone needs screws. So now anyone needs.
So the camera's still going in anyway. It still shows us what it was going to show us by going in. Nothing's been affected. We just took out a few seconds. And so, wow. We literally need to get rid of about 1 second and 23 frames. So,
and access it and use it.
So,
and access it and use it.
So he says the words and access it and use it. So we're going to get rid of this little chunk right here. Oh, again, audio dissolve.
Access it and use it.
Okay, so, my God. So move aside, make smaller. Move aside, make smaller.
Access it and use it.
Okay, so that works. That worked nicely as far as the audio goes. So didn't cut them off ugly or anything like that. I'm just going to go ahead just for the heck of it, not because it's right or wrong. I'm just going to go ahead and put an additive dissolve in here and bam. And that kind of works because it goes from Nelson. You have a nice bright flash slash dissolve. So it's really a flash and a dissolve. And then it goes to the white graphic plus the movement. So kind of all flows nicely for the eye. Yep, I like that. So let's see where we're at. All right, just a little bit more, almost there. What else we can get rid of without getting rid of too much?
Organization is next to godliness. Organization is key to winning the battle. The more organized you are, the more efficient you can work, the quicker you can work, and the more you can accomplish. You can come and easily access the materials you need.
So maybe we get rid of the words "you can come," you know, because
you can come and easily access.
See if we can jump into the word in this cut, easily access. Okay.
Easily access.
So let's see how that cuts. It should shave off just a hair more.
Easily accomplish and easily access. Easily accomplish. Easily access. The more you can accomplish. Easily access the materials you need to accomplish. Easily access.
So by moving here, let me undo that. By moving the dissolve to the left, what you did was you included more of the audio of the word easily, specifically the easily, the E part, right? So we're going to go ahead and do that. And that sounds a whole lot better.
Easily access. The quicker you can work and the more you can accomplish. Easily access the materials.
Okay, cool. So two cool things. Number one, the audio works, shave some time off there. And then number two, not a jump cut because we don't see him in this frame right here. So we go to him. So it kind of works. It kind of flows. I'm going to leave that alone, not put any sort of a visual dissolve.
Easily access the materials you need for the job, know where they're at, find them, get to the place you need, and be done with it. So we had to move.
So let's go ahead and get rid of this word so, because it doesn't add nor does it take away from anything if we get rid of it. Let's see how that works. And that should have done the trick right there.
We had to move this done with it.
Make it tighter, get in closer.
Done with it. We had to move this shelf and be done with it. We had to move this shelf, so I had to remove everything off this shelf and to just need and be done with it. We had to move this shelf, so I had to remove everything off this shelf and to just throw it back on randomly would have.
And I'm going to go ahead and leave that cut right there, the visual part, no dissolve, no anything. I'm okay with that. Sometimes just a raw hard cut is fine. It's not going to kill you. Other times it's something that needs to be addressed. And look at that. That brings us in onto 3 frames over. So we're just gonna go ahead and move the out point 3 frames. So it's 59 seconds with 3 frames. Not going to kill anyone. And YouTube will still consider it the minute that it needs max to be a short. So
organization is next to godliness. Organization is key to winning the battle. The more organized you are, the more efficient you can work, the quicker you can work, and the more you can accomplish. Easily access the materials you need for the job, know where they're at, find them, get to the place you need, and be done with it. We had to move this shelf, so I had to remove everything off this shelf, and to just throw it back on randomly would have been a disaster. Putting it back in an organized manner with all our 8-penny nail guns right here. We have 8-penny sinkers, 16-penny sinkers. We have our Tico nails in the 2 different sizes here. Leftovers of our 16 and 8-penny nail guns. We got 2.5-inch screws. We got our 1.25-inch drywall screws. So now anyone needs something, they can come here, easily find it and access it and use it.
graphic on the back end, but I think the whole thing looks very nice. Find a little touch, little color enhancement. So for that, I keep it super simple. Brightness, contrast, dump that onto there on the first one, bam. Contrast, take that sucker up to 20. Sometimes I like to do 15. You know what? It's Thursday. Let's go wild. Let's go on 20. Okay. Copy, lasso everything else where you want to apply it to, zoom out, bam, everything's lassoed. Paste attributes. I'm going to paste the brightness contrast. Exact same way as the first one.
Get them, get to the place you need, and be done with it.
Okay, so the image looks a whole lot better than the original washed out image. But again, I'm not going to spend, you know, all day. Like, there's so many moving parts that I have to do to make just one video, as you saw, that I'm not going to jump into, you know, I'm not going to jump into making the whole color correction thing. I'm not a master of that. This is how I do it. Works. And guess what? As those views come in, I've never heard a person say, I'm not going to watch your video because the hue and the saturation and all. It's like, I'm not going to, don't overthink it, because trust me, your audience is not overthinking it. As long as your visuals are good, colors are strong, people can hear your audio, the story, more than anything else, that the story makes sense, move on. Yeah. Oh, not like that though, because apparently I just made a boo-boo. So I deleted the whole thing by accident. All right, everyone. So that's that. Again, you can always catch these videos on the Ideal Trade Institute's YouTube channel, as well as if you look at the same thing up on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and also the TikToks. All these videos are there. That way you can watch me make them here for all you editing junkies out there who want to watch how the sausage is made. Or, you know what? Well, not even or. Please, afterwards, go to the platforms, check out the videos, because I work really hard, as you can see, to make these videos come to life, not just the shooting, the editing, but also the thumbnails, the posting. It's a lot of work. And so if you would honor me by honoring that work by just watching the videos and sharing them, especially if you're into the trades and construction, would love for you to, you know, enjoy these videos. That's why we make them, to share with the world to what's going on here at Ideal as our amazing team builds these tiny homes. So everyone, thank you so much. If you have not liked the video or left us a comment, please do so. We'd definitely love to hear from you. And more than anything, please hit subscribe. Please hit subscribe. All right, everyone. So yeah, talk to you guys later, and good to see you again.